Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great start to your day. And I am. I had my vitamin C. I noticed yesterday that there was a comment about coffee. Nativity, good morning. Mike, Charles, how are you? Kevin, good morning. Hey, all the guys up first except for Nativity. Rosalinda. Okay, here we go. Now we got some women going. Rhonda, good morning. And Rosa, nice to have you on. Jeanette, good morning to you from our staff. Dottie, Nick from our staff. And Mary, nice to have you. Chantal. And two Chantals. And Andre, bon matin de Sudbury. Yes, Natalie. Serpa, good morning, Serpa. Liz, good to have you on. Charles is having a coffee. Rhonda, Joanne, David, Jensen Beach, Florida. Hello. May, Wendy from Markham. Natasha, good morning. Deb, and Rachel. Couple more. Dell, nice to have you on. Chantal, Ottawa. Faye, Terrace, British Columbia. Suzanne and Danielle Papineau. Connie, Jerry, Yolande. Jerry had me laughing early this morning. I got to tell you that story. Alma, Elaine, from Kamloops, British Columbia. And Alma from Sudbury. I never heard of it. Susan, Frank, good morning, Frank. How are you? Diane, Bill, Fran, Orangeville. Gonna be 61 Fahrenheit in Orangeville today. And someone said, Miss Florida, Bonnie, Roma, how are you? Mary, P-E-I, Laura, good morning. Good to have you on. Henna, she's ready to rumble. Okay, Marlene. And Francine from Bequia. Where the heck is that, Francine? Guylaine, Sherry, Marcia. Video is jumping, is it? I don't see it here. Michelle, David, Marianne. Happy St. Patrick's Day, that's right. To my Irish friends, Marla, Dubraka, Marzana from Oakville, Gail. Good morning, guys. Jeanne. Okay, let me tell you the story about Jerry before I get into our topic this morning. Because Jerry sent me a message this morning, said he got a lot of blowback when he posted on someone's comment about bacon. And he said, well, bacon's good for you. And of course, you know, my cardiologist said, folks, I love cardiologists. If you're having a heart attack, you don't want to see me, you want to see your cardiologist, okay? But, they get everything wrong. When it comes to nutrition, they got everything wrong, including bacon. Bacon is better for you than any cereal you can name. Any cereal, better to have bacon. It's always amazing to me because they don't know anything about nutrition. They would tell you, you know what's good for you? Olive oil. Olive oil is good for you. Yeah, I agree. Olive oil is good for you. But olive oil and bacon have the same oil. One is tastier. That's bacon. It's called oleic acid. So I said, Jerry, keep it up. You're going to get a lot of pushback. I get a lot of pushback. But that's all right. We can endure it, right? Okay, now guys, if you've been with me in the last little bit, I think my great-grandson is 3 weeks old. I don't think he's quite a month yet. Okay? It's really funny to watch Tony Jr., okay, with that little guy. Instant love. Now, great-grandparents, we're at the back of the bus. I mean, we can't get at that baby. Because the grandparents are lined up, my son and my daughter-in-law. I mean, now, if you're a grandparent, you know what I'm talking about. If I'd have known grandchildren that much fun, we'd have had them first, I tell people, because that's how much fun grandchildren are, okay? But the reason I bring that up is because I want to do a little bit of teaching this morning, okay? Because I've been thinking about this in watching my little great-grandson and what he needs. He needs fat. He needs fat and not fructose. Mommy's milk is almost 100% fat. Did you know that? Very high in fat content. That's the problem, guys, with milk today, okay? Because cardiologists and other nutritional gurus in the 60s and 70s thought, well, fat makes you fat and fat gives you cholesterol. We better get rid of fat. So what did they do to milk? They took the fat out of it and made skim 1%, 2%, like craziness, guys. Because again, all they can think of is fat looks like cholesterol, or fat elevates your cholesterol, or fat blocks up your arteries. And the whole world went crazy. I mean it. Hook, line, and sinker. Even today, here we are in 2022, and what have we got? We got the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry, the nutritional industry. They don't get it. They don't get it. And like you know me, I get a splitting headache when I think about it. But little babies, they need fat. They don't need fructose. You know, when I look at formulas, I mean, that is a disaster for kids. And, for some reasons, parents, mummies that cannot breastfeed, for whatever, okay? And I'm very sympathetic to that. But, oh my word, what's out on the market today? Full of soy, full of fructose. And I put a little note the other day on our private Facebook group. Fructose fries the brain. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about blueberries or an apple. If you lived on that, it wouldn't be good. But I'm talking about especially the high fructose corn syrup. Okay? It fries the brain, guys. It's not good for babies. And I thank God that, what would I call her? My grandson's wife, she knows better. And breastfeeding that little one, taking high DHA herself, feeding that baby's brain. Now, babies got very, very tiny brains, okay? Like our brains here, about 2% of our body weight. It's not big, but baby's brain is very small. But every week, it grows by 1%. It's rapidly growing, that brain. And it needs the right food. Now, breast milk, okay, contains 2 milk sugars, right? It's really important to understand that, because you as an adult don't need breast milk. Now, breast milk gives the baby colostrum, okay, which is really, really important for their immune systems. Okay, breast milk gives colostrum. Now, it has a sugar in there called galactose. Okay, now you've heard of lactose, right? You've heard of lactose, and a lot of people today are lactose intolerant, and I've told you why. I'm a why guy. Why is it today that so many children, so many adults have what they call lactose intolerance? Because lactose, without the presence of fat, can be very detrimental to a person. This is why I don't want people. I had a conversation yesterday with a young man, one of my grandson's buddies. And the kid's a smart kid, asking very good questions. And he said, I thought dairy was no good for you. Well, I said, my audience, the people that follow me, know better than that. Don't ditch dairy, switch it. Because when you have milk that's been denatured, you got a cow in the backyard, drink that milk. But otherwise, I mean, you don't need milk in this sense. I'm not big on you drinking milk. I'm big on you eating cheese. Now, if you want to have a yogurt, plain Greek, full-fat yogurt, go for it. But the problem with dairy is because they changed it. So I don't want you to ditch it. I want you to switch it. I think that's really important, because dairy is very good for you. Dairy is very good for you. So people that, carnivores, or people that tell me that dairy, dairy, it's that lactose. I said, well, first of all, lactose is only a problem when there's no fat surrounding it. And that's why you have so much trouble today. People are really not lactose intolerant. I always poo-pooed that idea. It's not really lactose that the problem is, guys. The problem is the absence of fat. Okay? And I'll give you an example. Maybe not a dairy example, but do you know that you can diminish? Let's say you like sugar, and I'm not telling you to like it. Well, I'm not telling you not to like it. I'm telling you not to eat it. But let's say you do. One of the things that minimizes the effect of sugar in your diet is high DHA. Yeah? That fat in the DHA You see, what is DHA? DHA is a long chain fatty acid. The more complex and the longer that chain of fatty acid, the better it is for your brain. Your body can absorb it. It's so good for you. Okay? Babies need DHA. That's what's present in mommy's milk. God put it there. I'll just say another thing about DHA, in case you're wondering. You can't get DHA from the plant kingdom. You can't. It's not in there. Okay? It's not in there. So, mommy's milk contains two sugars. Okay? And one of them, lactose, and the other, galactose. You know, very different. Galactose is very good for babies' development, but we don't need galactose, and we don't even have an end. Once you get older, you don't even break that down. But baby needs it. So there's a lot of benefits. And you know, you got to remember something. I was born in the 1950s. I know that surprises you. 1952 to be exact, okay? And the craze coming in at the time was breastfeeding isn't the best because mommy's milk doesn't have everything needed. You need to have the formula that's enriched with vitamins and, you know. Guys, I hate to say this, but when man gets a hold of something compared to God, it's never good. Usually, never good. I mean, there's been a lot of advances in medicine, I understand that, but not when it came to baby formula. And now, of course, since the 1980s, there was a big switcheroo that went on in the 1980s. I watched it happen. Well, we better get back to breastfeeding. We better get back to breastfeeding. Because breastfeeding, you know, colostrum and the DHA and all this that is in mommy's milk, okay? Now, okay. So what is fructose? Let's be a little negative for a minute. What does fructose do? So when you get formula, look at it, read the label. Now, just the next time you're in a grocery store, just do it. Even if you got no babies coming or going. You know what I mean? Like, just because I want to prove a point to you. Read what they make that protein out of. Soy. Ooh, soy. Giving that baby extra estrogen. They don't need it. And look at the sugar they put in there. And they might couch it in different names, but it's high fructose corn syrup. It's cheap. It's inexpensive. It's readily available to the food industry, and it's man-made. Frankenstein's sugar. Okay? Horror movie sugar. It's terrible. Now, what does it do to the brain? Okay? Couple of things I want to talk about. It changes brain chemistry. One, it oxidizes. High fructose corn syrup, fructose into the brain oxidizes the brain. It ages the brain rather than develop the brain. It micro destroys it. Oxidation and glycation. Now, did you read our email this morning? We talked about one of the reasons that joints wear out is what we call glycation. Your tendons, your joints. You go bone on bone. A part of that process is glycation. That's what fructose does. Fructose blocks leptin. Now, do you remember what leptin is? You got two hormones. Well, you got more than that. But you got two hormones when it comes to your appetite. Okay? Leptin tells you that you're full. Ghrelin tells you to eat because you're not full. But you know what fructose does? Fructose blocks leptin. It's one of the reasons we see so much obesity. It's one of the reasons we see so much childhood obesity. Guys, go to a mall. Observe. Use your eyeballs. Look at people today. Look at kids today. They got leptin resistance at a young age. You give a kid a cookie, and they're metabolically well. They don't have any problems. Okay? Like I always tell my grandchildren, Grandpa used to have cookies and ice cream too, you know. Okay? But it's different today because of this high fructose corn syrup. Anyway, you give a kid a cookie that's metabolically well, and their leptin will say, okay, have a cookie and stop. You don't eat anymore. But if you got leptin resistance because your body doesn't produce leptin like it should, you give a kid a cookie that's metabolically unwell, and that can start right from mommy feeding them the wrong food, fructose. And you know what happens? They want to go to the couch because they don't feel like doing nothing. Plus, they're hungry again. They want to eat 5 cookies. That is a hormonal imbalance. This is why I always tell people, listen, you know me, I get uptight. When obesity, guys, okay, obesity is a hormonal problem. It is. Obesity is a hormonal problem. It's a leptin problem. It's an insulin resistance problem. When you have insulin resistance, you get leptin resistance. And your body, it doesn't tell you when you're full. You're starving. And you just ate. Okay? So what does fructose do? We know that it really affects the brain. Not only in children, of course, in us too, adults. It really messes up our brain with glycation, oxidation. Okay? Now, 3 impacts I want to talk to you about of sugar, fructose, in the brain. One of them, okay, we'll do this for a minute. Behavior. Okay, so now, one of the problems, when you just ask a school teacher if I'm right. They'll agree with me. Like I said, if you send cupcakes, because it's your kid's birthday, to school, if the teacher's smart, they won't let you have those cupcakes until the end of the day. Because they know behavior is going to change, right? A sugar high. You get the Tasmanian devil out of kids. Give them sugar. That's why grandparents, okay? I always tease my Tony. I said, well, I'm giving my grandson sugar, and then I'm sending him home to you to pay you back. Okay? No, but everybody knows that. Parents know all about a sugar high. Behavior, it changes. Hello, I can't get over how, dietitians, nutritionists say, well, you know what, a little bit of sugar is actually very good for you. A little bit, we have some sugar. Your brain needs sugar. I heard that yesterday. Oh, your brain needs sugar. No, it don't. Your brain needs fat, not sugar. Your brain needs fat. That's why mommy's milk is so good, because there's a little bit of sugar, but it's all surrounded by fat. Okay? So, behavior, cognition. You know what they've shown with high fructose corn syrup? What it does to the brain? I've talked to you about the addiction part of it. It is like cocaine. Did you know that? It takes the same route to the feel-good centers in the brain that cocaine does. It creates a little pathway in the brain, and the more you use it, the more it wants to go down that pathway. Sugar highs. Cognition. With metabolic syndrome, okay, so you remember what metabolic syndrome is. Let's always repeat. Metabolic syndrome, what's the overarching principle of metabolic syndrome? Insulin resistance. High circulating insulin can give you high blood pressure, can give you fatty liver, it can give you high triglycerides, can give you low HDL. That's metabolic syndrome, guys, but it's caused by food. Not anything else. Food. The elephant in the room. Even when COVID, you didn't get sick. You didn't go to the hospital unless you had metabolic syndrome. Almost invariably. And low vitamin D. Okay, let's just stop there. I don't want to get on a rabbit trail. Now, metabolic syndrome, you know what it does to the brain because of high fructose corn syrup? It gives you white lesions in the brain. It shrinks your hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. Imagine giving that to kids. Imagine giving that to adults. We don't need that. Like, I really got to be careful with my memory, right? I mean, I got to stay sharp, guys. Now, you might have an argument whether I'm sharp or not. Okay. What they've shown, the root it takes, what it does in the hippocampus, it actually shrinks the memory centers in the brain. It saturates the hippocampus. And insulin can't get in there enough to take that sugar out of there. That's insulin resistance even in the brain. They're showing that it shrinks the frontal lobe of the brain. Not good. Why do you think they called Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes? They don't like to say that. They got pushback on it. And now, it's wokeness. They don't say it's that. But it's one of the major causes. It's our diet. Behavior, cognition, and and effect, the third one. It'll destroy your brain. And here's another one. Now, we well know that I've taught you over and over and over again. Your liver. Imagine destroying kids' liver with what they call non-alcoholic fatty liver. It is a scourge, folks, in our society today. Children's livers full of fat caused by high fructose corn syrup and sugar. It's a tragedy because the people, they don't understand the significance. When you have fatty liver, your body will make more triglycerides. You know how bad that is for you when your triglycerides go through the roof? Even in kids. And they don't have enough HDL, cholesterol, to hook their wagon to those triglycerides. That's the effect. It shrinks the brain. It fattens up the liver. Fatty liver, like alcohol. I mean it. Scary, guys. Scary. Now, what do we do about it? One of the mitigating factors in sugar is high DHA. You know I'm in love with that oil. I take it every day. I'm feeding my brain primarily. It's good for your heart. It's good for your joints. It's good for inflammation everywhere. It is tremendous. But I take it and I go, yeah, okay. I want it to end up here. I want fat. Baby needs fat. Adults need fat. And they need the long chain fatty acid. Guys, I'm telling you, I hear, yeah, but Dr. Martin, plants, seeds, and nuts, they give you omega-3. Yeah, they do. They give you more omega-6. But you can get like omega-3 from hemp seeds and whatever, guys. But it isn't DHA. Now, you know I like flax seeds. You know that. But I don't take flax seeds for DHA. It's not in there. It's not in the plant kingdom. I tell my vegan, I used to tell my vegan patients, please listen to me. When you're going to have a baby, please take a supplement of high DHA oil. I beg you, for the baby, because you're not getting it. You will not get it in plants. It's not there. I hate to disappoint you. Okay? That doesn't mean I don't love you. I still love you, I do. But I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I see all this nonsense about vegetarianism and veganism. Every day I see it. Every day I see it. And I go, and I'm not even sure I'm going to win. You know what I mean? There's a real movement today to get away from meat, from Bill Gates and all the money in the world. They're trying to get people away from that, and it drives me crazy. It is so nonsensical. But anyway, I'm going to preach it, guys, as long as I'm alive. I can tell you that. Okay? Let me just say this, because I get it every day too. I got an email yesterday, but on this. You can't make me care about LDL cholesterol. You can't. Doc, what do I tell my doctor? Good luck with that. If they're not listening, good luck with that. What do I tell them? Somebody was telling me yesterday, what do I tell my naturopath? I don't know. They might listen, they might not. But the jury has come back with their verdict, guys. They posted it the other day. Cholesterol is not at the root of heart disease. Hello? I've been saying that for a long time. I don't know if anybody's reading that, but it's true. Okay. Now, enough of the pontification. I just thought I'd do that because I wanted to talk about, I wanted to brag about my great-grandson. I got two great-grandchildren. One little daughter, great-granddaughter. Okay. My grandson's little girl. Oh, she's so cute. But like I say, I can hardly get at her when you're a great-grandparent. You got to get through those grandparents. And they give you the elbow. It's like you're playing hockey. Trying to get at baby. I just want a kiss. Okay, guys. Okay. Now, tomorrow is question and answer Friday. Are you looking forward to that? I am. I really am. It reminds me of my old radio days. When live, they would call in and ask questions. Live. No screening ahead of time. And it was always fun. I really enjoyed that. Okay, so question and answer Friday tomorrow. If you didn't get our email today on the 3 causes of pain, it's a tremendous email. If you didn't get it, sign up, guys, at martinclinic.com. Now, for your friends, pass this around. For your family, pass it around. Tell them to download, sign up for the Doctor Is In podcast. All of these are made into podcasts. So they can listen on their smartphones. Okay? Get them to do it. The Doctor Is In podcast. Okay. Okay. Having fun yet? Okay, great. Okay. Love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.